Alright, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. We're just taking a look at Verasity here, and as we can see, I mean ever since the start of the new year it's had a very impressive rally, hasn't it? All the way down from around this level at around a fifth of a cent, all the way up to, you know, 0.7 of a cent, almost 0.75, 3/4 of a cent here into this key resistance, which is really interesting to see, isn't it? As we said, it has been continuously bouncing off this level of support here as we've been heading down to the downside, trickling down and losing volume and interest in the crypto space. And obviously since the new year we've had this massive explosion of volume for Verasity. I think this is the highest volume that it's ever seen by far in terms of, you know, 1 or 2 days here, as you can see quite clearly. On the volume here we're massively up, even from back here when we were making these huge all-time highs. This is a huge run to the upside, isn't it? We've actually broken out of this bear market resistance as well, which is very interesting to see. You can see here 1, 2, and then this third touch here, we've just completely ripped all the way through it, haven't we? And we've ripped through that 0.23 Fibonacci level as well. If you take a look here, I need to actually pull this back in so I can see it a bit more easily. Obviously pulled the Fibonacci from the high of the bull market up here down to this low of the bear market, the current low of the bear market I should say, and you can see we've ripped all the way through that 0.23 Fibonacci level as well here, and we've headed up into that key level, that historical level of resistance here, which was a previous level of support here. So interesting to see indeed. We've been rattling on for literally months and months about, on the daily time frame, this big bullish divergence. You can see price action coming down, the RSI here coming up, losing momentum to the downside. We've been continuously trickling to the downside here, and then we did get a little bit of a breakout here, obviously with this bit of a lot of cryptos were in a bit of a descending wedge formation, as you can see, heading down like this and kind of coiling up and starting to scoop that low. You can see here very low volume over this holiday period as well, and then heading into the new year, it took about a week, didn't it, for Verasity to really kick in terms of, you know, Bitcoin obviously rallying and dragging the altcoin market to the upside as well. And you can see here the price action getting scooped up in a massive parabolic move here. This is the most overbought that Verasity has pretty much ever been as well. You can see here we were getting very overbought in this area just here when we were at this, you know, this peak just before that overextension, the bearish divergence for Verasity and this, you know, big bear market that we have seen here. You can see very clearly that we're very overbought right now, extremely overbought, and you would probably expect, in my opinion, to have a bit of a retracement from this level. That is why I had a short position ready here. I had a short position ready here, but we tore through it completely, didn't we, and just absolutely ripped to the upside to the next level of resistance. But my short did get triggered here, and right now it's in a little bit of profit here. And I do have a target of it coming back down to retrace. Most likely, I do think this is probably going to have a retracement after such a parabolic move, at least in the very local short term, back down towards that 0.23 Fibonacci level, I would say, which would realistically be here at that 0.23 level. You can see here that this was a previous level of support, flipped into resistance and got that continuation to the downside. Obviously we didn't realize this because the Fibonacci is pulled to this low here, but you can see now these levels could come in handy for looking at some targets for the future. Obviously if we do get an overextension here and continue to the upside and get an extremely parabolic move, the next target for me is obviously that 0.38 here, up at around that 0.9 of a cent level. Maybe get an overextension like this and a big bearish divergence and then a rollover. Or if we do get the retracement like I predict we will, that 0.23 will be my next target in my opinion. Obviously Verasity looking very good right now. It's broken out that key bear market resistance, which is really good to see, isn't it? And you could easily see maybe a back test at this level and some continuation like this, which would be fantastic, obviously, for Verasity holders. But obviously, we're not out of the woods yet. This is a very interesting sign of the bear market potentially, you know, starting to come to an end for Verasity. But right now, we do still need to see, obviously, Bitcoin getting back up into realistically 25, 30k and continuing and holding support for us to consider, you know, the bear market trend for Bitcoin to be over. And realistically, you know, Verasity is following Bitcoin, isn't it? As much as everyone thinks, you know, it's moving on its own. If Bitcoin heads down to 10k tomorrow, then Verasity is going to go absolutely, you know, through the floor and continue down, isn't it? So we're keeping tempered expectations right now. We are very overextended. In the very short term, I am still bearish, and I do think that, you know, Verasity is probably going to have a little bit of a come down and retest these lows realistically, in my opinion. But mid to long term, I do think this is going to be an amazing crypto. You know, long term, it's probably going to come up and do some very interesting price targets. At the very least, getting back to the all-time high in the bull market. over the next few years. And, you know, if we do get up to even, you know, 50 cents or $1, it's going to be very, very interesting for Verasity holders, isn't it? So that would be my analysis for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching indeed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.